are at the Antique Fan Collectors Association Museum, hosted by Fanimation. Approximately 450 fans here in the collection. These fans are supplied by members of the Antique Fan Collectors Association. Many of the fans are mine. Well, we should start over here and work our way down. These are several fans that we recovered from railroad cars. This one in particular I brought back from a rail station in Nairobi. And the others are off of Pullman cars. The rail car fans are probably from the 1920s. We have, down here, we have coin actuated fans for hotel rooms. You know, the coin in this case goes in right there, and you'd get, you know, for a nickel you'd get a couple hours of airflow from the fan. Some of them are a little bit nicer looking. We have a nice collection of wood cased fans. Some fit into windowsills, some were freestanding, some sit on the floor. This fan in particular is one of my favorites. With the screen in the front, kind of reminds you of the screens they would stick in front of fireplaces to keep the heat off. Just flip it around and there you have a small oscillating fan. Smallest fan, right here. It's more of a toy than anything. Just happened to have it handy. This fan was on a U.S. battleship. Just recently got that one. In this area are really some of the oldest fans. A fan like this was battery operated. You can see how elaborate that is, how fancy it is, and look at the batteries you would need to operate it, 100 years ago. Some of the most unique fans in here are run off of alcohol or lamp oil. And I've got a pretty extensive collection of these. Some are from Pakistan, some from Burma, several from Europe. I've got a few at the end that were actually made in Chicago. But they run on hot air fueled by the burning alcohol or burning lamp oil. Standing up in the crate here is Fritz, and he's turning a crank, powering these built-in fans you see overhead. This is inspired by a photograph I took in 1976 while visiting a restaurant called Cobb's in New Orleans. You can zero in here. This is the original figure that powered the fans in Cobb's restaurant. Something I've always wanted to do is reproduce that shot, or reproduce that figure. We've covered the fans in the museum, and now we're in the Fanimation lobby, where the history is a little bit different and focused on Fanimation's history and really my history in the fan business. I got my start in the fan business, it's just really a fluke. I got a summer job working for an antique dealer by the name of Burton A. Burton in Pasadena, California. And my first day on the job as a 17-year-old in high school, I built this fan. And actually behind it is the tooling that went into making this fan. I was able to recover this tooling a few months ago and preserve it. I went to work for Burton A. Burton, an antique dealer, and one of the many antiques we restored at the time, in addition to player pianos and slot machines and other gaming equipment, we restored antique fans, and that's what led us into the fan business. The Burton Company, after a couple of years, became the Casablanca Fan Company. And so I collect all manner of signs from the Casablanca Fan Company. In 1984, I went independent with the specialty portion of the business and started Fanimation. One aspect of Fanimation is we've done some antique fan reproductions. Like you see here, this is originally made by Robinson Myers, called the Peacock. We reproduced it as the Fitzgerald, a larger, more efficient, better operating and safer fan. We reproduced a fan called the Savory Aerator. We call it the Fargo. Again, safer, more efficient. It's a fan that was actually my office fan at Casablanca for 10 years that sat over my desk. And I inherited this fan along with a fair number of other fans when the founder died. And here's our reproduction of the fan. We call it the Air Shadow. But a pretty close representation of the original. The blades actually retract when turned off. In this picture here is the entire company. We had just become the Casablanca Fan Company. This picture was probably taken in late 1984. That's the entire company of 7 people. We were probably making 50 fans a month. 7 years later, there were 500 employees. We were making 3,000 fans a day.